मेरी बात आपके साथ फिर हाजिर हूं आपके सामने एक नया व्यक्तित्व लेकर, उनके बारे में नई बातें लेकर। तो आइए चलते हैं। Hi guys, we are at Botanic Garden in Wales, or I should call it Welsh Botanic Garden. You can see this. It's a greenhouse, and this is world's largest single span greenhouse. It's so beautifully built, beautifully made, and it has within this area 25,000 species of plants and flowers. Look at this one. This is kind of an amazing structure. Amazing. Look at the path. Botanic Garden. I should call it Welsh Botanic Garden because we're in Wales. This is the world's largest single span glass house. South Africa. Actually, British authorities know how to make things look good and attractive. The historians or archaeologists, they know how to attract people to the museums and to the places like this. Those who are not interested in plantation or in warehouses or in greenhouses would want to come, but when they will look at the infrastructure and the style of its design, will definitely come into it. I'm that sure about it. We'll go further, don't worry. California's Mediterranean region contains more flowering plant species than nearby areas 10 times its size. Almost 2/3 of these are unique to the region, and there are a few examples of it. Look at these various species of plants. As I have earlier said, there are in this greenhouse 25,000 different species of plants. Here we go. This is the place where I had shown you from top. There I was earlier. And I mean, it might not be of great use, but it looks good. Look at the stones. Christmas heather, region South Africa. There are 625 species of erica growing wild on the Cape. Their stunning varieties and evolutionary response to the shape and behavior of hundreds of different insect and bird pollinators. Amazing, isn't it? British museums and gardens and commons are well known for its maintenance and cleanliness. This we all know, especially those who live in Britain. And here is the one of the examples. Here you can see the quietness, well maintenance, and the cleanliness. How tidy it is. We are out of this greenhouse, or you can call it glass house. It's very good weather here. It's 16 degree, little cooler than London, and mild. No sun, little bit of clouds, cloudy I mean. Yeah, but really amazing. The walks are so easy and clean. This is the water stream coming from here. You can see this very little, and you can see the zigzag like serpents. And this is covering 2 kilometers of the area within this park. So you can imagine how big this is. Oh, where's my family gone? They had the buggies for elderly people's, disabled, and women with young children. Wales Tree of the Year 2015. This must be this. This is the theatre stage. It could be any performance, or it could be birds play, or it could be of anything. The chairs will be laid when the time of the theatre comes. The British Bird of Prey Centre. We will follow this path and go and see, and we'll show you again. Thank you. Hedgehog Y goggled.
Is that their name? Yeah.
This is empty. Oh,
Hello. Hi, Ketchup.
it's called red kite.
Oh, red kite.
Cute you are. Monsieur. And so, Hedgehog drama. Yes, I know. I know you're showing off. I know you're showing off because we are here to see you. To watch your styles, your acrobats, and your flying skills. Aren't we? Oh.
And look at him. He's sleeping.
Oh. Oh my God. You look so beautiful. Aren't you sleeping? You must be tired. Snowy owl, it's called. This is empty. This is called Rusty. Oh. Long-eared owl. National Botanic Garden of Wales. This is a beautiful quote by David Attenborough. No one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they have never experienced. It's fantastic, and this is so true. It's by David Attenborough.
Go quite closely over the tops of your heads today. They might even decide to fly between your heads. Now, don't panic. This is their job. They do know what they're doing. The worst thing for you to do is scream and duck to one side, because 9 times out of 10, if it looks like a bird is flying straight towards your head, it's not going to collide with you. Here he comes. I can hear him. It's actually already decided which side of your head to fly. So if you keep nice and still, you will be absolutely fine. If you do, however, panic and go one way or the other, you might then end up with a lovely short haircut. So do bear that one in mind. Now, one of the other birds on this display might come and join you on your benches. If this is the case, again, absolutely fine. Take pictures and video the birds the entirety of the show, but please do not try to stroke them. A couple of these characters are quite small and cute looking, I suppose you could say, but they won't really appreciate it if a finger comes towards them, and they'll probably think it's food, so just bear that one in mind. So this is Vinny then. This is kind of our prelim bird. A Eurasian hobby falcon. Now, Vinny's just over a year old, so he is still quite a young character. He is totally fully grown. However, birds of prey do grow much faster than most species of mammals. So generally speaking, anywhere from sort of 10 weeks up to sort of 28 weeks, a bird of prey can reach its full size and be totally capable of flight, depending on the species of which you are talking about. Now, hobbies are a species in the UK that are actually migratory. So they come over in sort of spring and early summer. They spend the warmest parts of the year here, and then towards the end of the summer, as the cold starts to creep back in, they head back over to Africa. And generally speaking, lots of insects. They'll catch lots of things like emperor dragonfly on the wing. You will find them around bodies of water quite a lot of the time. That's a little bit better. Anytime when Vinny's going past this lure pad, you'll see it, Charlie casts it out to him, and that's him basically trying to tempt him. It's trying to make him think, oh, maybe I can grab it this time. And if he really commits to it, you may even see his feet come out and try to get it. Now, if a falcon is able to catch us out, we just let go of the lure pad, let them have it, game's over, and in their mind, they've won. They've successfully hunted. It bolsters their confidence and their ego, essentially, and it makes them want to come in again. That's the recall. That's Charlie's way of saying the game's over. So Vinny can now come in and grab his dinner. Give him a little clap then, guys.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't say he was the best lure falcon in the world, but he did do a lovely little flight for us anyway and chased the local buzzard. So it's nice to see Vinny getting some of his wild instincts out there and definitely pumping his muscles. You can see that now he's using his whole body to cover that little lure pad. That is called mantling. So the word mantle means to shield or to cover. That's why we have mantle pieces at home that do the same thing. What he's doing is he's stopping any of you guys from seeing his kill. What Charlie's now got to do, though, is persuade Vinny to give up his kill, like that. And this is called fair exchange is no robbery. Now, it is a little bit cack-handed when it comes to Vinny, but again, this is because he is still learning. He's still trying to work out the ongoings of this process. He's basically a little bit like a spoiled child, and he wants everything. He wants the food, he wants the glove, he wants the lure, he wants absolutely everything, and he wants it now. And the idea then is that he has to give up the lure pad in order to get the quail leg, which Charlie has now given him. Soon as that happens, the lure goes in the bag. He basically forgets it's ever existed. That is where you get the expression out of sight is out of mind from. Vinny is now quite content because he's got a nice big bit of food and he gets to go back to bed. She says, so no, I'm not in the mood for you. So this is Lily. Lily is a little owl. This is a species, again, of course, which you get all over the United Kingdom. Not truly an indigenous bird, however. These guys come from the Greek islands. They were brought over in the 1870s, and since then they have made themselves at home. They're not, however, classed as an invasive species. So to put that into some comparison, the grey squirrel, that is an invasive animal in the UK because they displace and outcompete the native red squirrel. Little owls, however, they've done nothing to impact our other native species, such as tawny, short-eared, long-eared, or barn owls. They've just found themselves a completely unique niche around our countryside. You often find them on the edges of hedgerows. They like hanging around farmlands a lot of the time as well, and they'll kind of live on the verge of where woodlands become open terrain. You can see he's absolutely knackered. So he's got his wings drooped over his kill. And again, mantling, making sure you guys can't really see it. Saxon's a bit of a veteran at this though. He's 8 years old. He's done this every day of his life pretty much. So he knows how this game works. You can see that he was trying to try to grab that lure pad. There is a little bit of food tied onto it. Charlie will let him eat either all of it or some of it, depending on how quickly Saxon eats today. And then just like we did with Vinny, we've got a nice big bit of quail for Sax. That's going to be the trade-off. He knows then, just step off of that lure pad. I get the better item of food. And then Dad takes me home, puts me back into my aviary, and I'll still get that little bit of food off of that lure pad anyway, because Charlie will just untie it and pop it back in with him. Charlie is actually Saxon's primary falconer. He's had Sax, what was he, 15? Was it 15 days old you got him? 16 days old. So Charlie's had Saxon pretty much from day dot. So as a result, he sees Charlie as Dad. You'll notice some of the birds around the centre, they are quite chatty, and that's because they're what we call imprints. So they think that we are essentially their parents. Saxon will sit quietly for most of the day. He is quite a quiet imprint, to be honest with you. Apart from if Charlie walks past, then he'll bow and he'll do this really high-pitched chirping. And that's basically he's going, it's Dad, I can see Dad. So they do have favourite people. They definitely do have very intricate characters.
It's very common.
Yeah, I don't know how well that joke lands up here, you know. So me and Charlie and Saxon were actually all from the Isle of Wight. We moved up a couple of months ago, and that used to be a regular joke. And back down there, it would either result in mass laughter or just absolute silence, depending on how people received it. So there you go. But there goes Saxon, guys. So give him one last clap. You might notice him do occasionally is get stuck to a post. It will look like he's Velcroed to the spot. And that's not because he's got tape under his feet. It's because all birds of prey have got a mechanism in their toes known as a ratchet tendon system. This is really useful when it comes to going hunting. So out in the wilds of the UK, these birds will be going for anything the size of a small rodent up to the size of, believe it or not, a small deer. These guys can go for things like red fox, muntjac deer, but potentially even deer fawns or fallow and roe deer as well. And that is all because of the power in which he possesses in his feet. He's actually got more power per foot than an adult Rottweiler dog possesses in its jaw. And again, this is all thanks to that ratchet tendon. Think of his foot a bit like a bear trap. Essentially, when anything hits the palm of that foot, if he believes it's something worth holding on to, it grips and locks. And the muscles that contract his feet are far stronger than the muscles that relax them. Now, sometimes when he gets a bit overexcited, Hector will either grab hold of the perch or sometimes even just a lump of grass. And what's happening then is his foot is telling his brain, you've caught something. He'll then look down at his foot and go, I don't think I have. And there's a little bit of a conversation going backwards and forwards until eventually he releases his foot and then he carries on flying. And there's a very good reason as to why Hector has to talk to his foot a little bit. And that is because that very old expression, the wise old owl, is utter rubbish. Unusual fear of wheels. We have no idea why other that could be the case, but whenever Hector sees anything that has a wheel on it, as long as it's stationary, it's fine. The second it starts to move, blind panic, goes up into a tree, scariest thing he's ever seen in his life. Will not come back down until the wheel monster has disappeared. So there you go. That's Hector for you. Very strange creature. But like I said, you can see with Hector, he's got those great big feathers on top of his head. They're commonly called ear tufts. Their proper name are plumicorns. Think of them more like elderly parts of their years, is that they can start to show signs of age. So Atlantis does suffer with a little bit of arthritis in one of her feet, but it is something that we can treat. We can't cure it, but we can treat it. We give her ice blocks for her to stand on, and that just helps to alleviate the pain. And of course, then we can give her medication, of course, to make sure that she's not in any sort of pain at all, and generally just exercise her. Get her out every single day, make sure that she's utilizing that foot, and the more she flexes those toes, the more fluid she moves out of those joints, and the happier she will be overall. And it's not something that really bothers her on a day-to-day basis. It is more of a once every now and then situation, and we can just kind of tackle it as it comes. In summer, it's not such an issue, of course, though, because with the warmth, she doesn't really get that swelling so much. Now, today, she might be a little bit hesitant to take off. She's probably going to go for a poo before she does anything else. And yeah, there we go, lovely. Lightening the load, that is. And as soon as she's done that, she's going to take off. She's going to want to find rising air currents. remember how I said earlier with Vinny about how he might have been looking for thermals? Well, Atlantis is definitely looking for thermals. This is the largest species of bird of prey in Europe. They can have up to an 8-foot wingspan. There you go, nice little haircut. So they can have up to an 8-foot wingspan. To give you an idea, it's about the same length as the bench that you are sat on. They do actually have a nickname, and that nickname is the flying barn door. You can see that when it takes off, those lovely, large, almost rectangular wings. They make her superbly built to soar over large areas. That's why these guys can actually traverse oceans if they need to. Now, this is a species that, again, once upon a time, we had all over the United Kingdom. Sadly, these days, that's her being grumpy with Charlie. That's her basically going, I don't want to put in more effort. It's humid. I can't be bothered. Please just give me the food or I'm going to get cross with you. So remember how I said she is a bit like an angry dinosaur sometimes? And that is exactly what she's doing now. A little bit of a tantrum, but it's nothing we can't handle.
Guys, I'm sure you must have enjoyed the show of British bird of prey, the evolution of flowering plants. There are 4 groups in this garden. A, lily group. B, rose group. C, daisy group. And D, kitchen garden. So let's explore. Chalte hain. Chaliye. This is daisy family. And let's see here what it says. Daisy family. With over 32,000 species, this is the biggest of all plant families. Wow. And where is my family? Oh, here that is. This is kitchen area. And you can see black currant. And my daughter is eating here. And you can see the squash. Hindi mein ye dekhiye. Or you can maybe it's kaddu. No, but squash is different. This is all kitchen area. These are onions and garlic area.
This one's leeks. This one's onion.
This one is onion. And this is garlic. I know these because we grow it at home as well. This big courgette, that is tori.
Tori?
Tori, Indian zaban mein, Hindi mein.
Look at the beautiful fruit.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
Mustard family, यानी सरसों. सरसों कितनी तरह की है? This is one of the easiest plant families to recognize. It includes many of our agricultural crops such as sprouts, watercress and pak choy. Leaves of the mustard family plants can smell like cabbage, whilst their flower spike tends to be long and slender. Think of ornamentals, wallflower and honesty. Eventually I found lily family.
Lily area.
Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. This is the 3rd family I have covered so far. I have covered daisy, kitchen garden, and this is the 3rd one, lily. So I need to hunt or look for rose. Last but not the least, the rose family in this area. That's the fourth one. You will know the taste of plants in the rose family: apples, cherries, blackberries, and strawberries. You'll also know roses, the plant that gave this plant family its name. Wow. खूबसूरत फूल.
They smell nice.
ज़बरदस्त स्मेल, ज़बरदस्त फ्रेग्रेंस, खूबसूरत महक, सुंदर महक. This is really interesting. Flies don't just eat poo. Many species of fly feed on nectar and help pollinate plants. Nectar-eating flies often have large eyes to spot flowers. Now we are on the other part or other side of the Botanic Garden. You can see how beautiful it looks from here. We're on the top. And this is the old double wall of the center. It's 5 o'clock in the evening. Skies are clear, very clear. Sitting area, eating and drinking. Drinking means coffee, hot drinks and all. This is shut now, it shuts at 4:30. Now, here we come to the end of our trip to Botanic Garden, Wales. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching this. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.